Hey, it's Renee. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Renée-Suzanne, and today let's listen to some of these classics. This is a song and an artist I have never heard before. This is Harry Chapin and Cats in the Cradle. So, if you are excited to hear this like I am going to need to press play.
When Harry would come home from the road, he would show me new stuff that he'd been working on, and I'd show him some things that I'd been doing. And I showed him the poem for Cats in the Cradle, and he kind of pushed it aside, and he took more interest in a couple of other things that I'd been working on. And then after Joshua was born, he grabbed it and said, "Hey, I got to put music to this." So it had been written a lot earlier, but it really hit him after Joshua was born.
If it
Okay, so we're getting some commentary here. Is Sandra Chapin, is that his wife? And then this his son? Let me know in the comments, you guys, because I don't know who his wife is or his son. I'm gonna go back a couple seconds and you can fill me in the comments.
He grabbed it and said, "Hey, I got to put music to this." So it had been written a lot earlier, but it really hit him after Joshua was born.
if it didn't happen to me so often, it would almost be awkward. But I'm used to it now because people actually want to, because I look like my dad too. They'll want to have contact with me, put their arm on my shoulder, and really try and communicate to me how it healed their relationship with their father, or
Oh wow.
it got them closer to someone they had fallen away from. It's always amazing to me because people just almost, before they even get words out, I can see a shakiness and emotion in their eyes, and the way they just kind of want to close the space between me and them when I haven't even met them before, which is a tribute to my dad.
I'm getting prepared here that this might actually make me cry. Whew. All right.
Between me and them when I haven't even met them before, which is a tribute to my dad.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, "I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you." And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, son. You know we'll have a good time then.
Before they get to another verse. So it sounds like he had a baby, but he still had, obviously bills to pay, a job to do. And so he's off on the road and having to miss that his son walked and his son talked for the first time and all those things. And when he'd come back, his son would ask him to do this and do that. And he'd say that he had to go and we'd do it next time. And his son would always say that, I'm going to be like you, Dad. And that's what this, a boy aspires to be a lot of the time, is like his dad.
You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, "Thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw?" I said, "Not today, I got a lot to do." He said, "That's okay," and he walked away, but his smile never dimmed and said, "I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him." And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, son. You know we'll have a good time then.
So I have to address this cats in the cradle part in the silver spoon. I know there's a big fear of cats getting in the cradle with children, babies in particular, with a breathing issue and the smell of milk possibly on their breath and whatever. So how much of a old wives' tale that is, I don't know. I've never had cats or any pets at the same time I've had small babies. So But that's a reference, I think, to that, as well as then in the silver spoon, meaning everything is given to him. As soon as he was born into, a family where there was some fame and therefore some money, and he was always well taken care of. That his dad would go away to tour and do his musical, things and concerts, etc. But so far that even at 10 years old, the child accepts the fact that when his dad says, don't have time to spend with you right now, but when I come back, we're going to have a good time. And the son is still saying, I'm going to be like him, that he wants to be like his dad. I don't know whether to be sad or what here.
Well, he came from college just the other day.
Oh.
So much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then.
Oh, wow. Now the shoe's on the other foot. The child has come home from college, and the dad's like, hey, I just have to say I'm proud of you, and can we sit and talk for a while? And the son is like, yeah, but what I'd really like to do is have the car keys. See you later. Can I have them, please? Because now he's college age and he has other things he wants to go do. He doesn't necessarily want to hang out at home and just necessarily hang out with his parents or his dad. He's got friends and he's at that age where he's, got a social life and whatever. And it feels like the shoe is on the other foot now. I'm loving this instrumentation here. So I want to go back a little bit because I see that there's strings as well as the acoustic guitar and the drums, and I really want to hear that.
Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. I've long since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. Said I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time.
Oh my.
You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids have the flu. But it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as he hung up the phone, it occurred to me he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me.
Ooh.
And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then.
Oh boy, guys. That makes it even sadder. He only lived to be 38 years old. And how much of a relationship did his son get to have with him? But the song ends with him, being a retired man, calling his son up, who is long since grown and obviously had a family of his own and a job. And he said it would be nice to see him. And his son basically had grown up just like him, telling him he didn't have the time because of his job and his kids were sick, but it was sure nice talking to you. And I can relate to a certain extent. I got married at 19, and immediately my father and stepmother, who I'd grown up with most of my life, moved across the country. And I have basically lived since I was that age in the same area, with a couple exceptions, for all of these years. And everyone in my family, not just my dad and stepmom or my mom who had moved away when I was younger, everyone in my family lives everywhere else except here. Everyone has moved away. So in order to spend time with any of them, they either have to make a big flight here or I have to make a big flight somewhere else. And how many families are spread apart like that now? And if you don't spend the time when they're young, you can't get it back. And the other lesson to this is, you know, your child is watching you, learning from you. Like he said, he turned out just like me. And that breaks my heart. For children growing up thinking that a job or a career or whatever it is more important than spending time with them. And then they turn around and do the same thing as an adult. You know, these generational things that get passed on that aren't always good. But I do love his voice. His voice is very, very unique. I'm so sad to hear that he died at 38 years old. What more could we possibly have had from him if he hadn't passed away? It says he left behind his loving family and fans that he touched with his music. Yeah. So what else did Harry Chapin put out? If you guys could let me know, I would be grateful. And whatever I missed in this song, the details, if you guys know the history, put it in the comments. I'd be grateful. But make sure you definitely go like, comment, share, and subscribe to Harry Chapin on YouTube to discover music of his on your own. The link to this song will be in the description so that you can watch it uninterrupted. If you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel for me, I would be grateful. There's also a bunch of links down below how to reach me on social media. Come by and say hello. Also, in the description are lots of other links that you might want to peruse. Take your time. Check out all the playlists I have available as well. But I think that is... Goodness, dogs barking too. That is going to have to be all for now, you guys. So bye, but only goodbye for now.